Morning, sports fans. This is George with Custom Tied Flies and Guide Service. And this morning we're going to be building one of these. It's a CT 60 degree copperhead hare's ear nymph. And for this project, you are going to need your hook. I'm using a Montana Fly Company 7203 60 degree jig hook. The weight is a copper slotted tungsten bead to fit whichever hook you're going to use. I'm building these in a 12, 14, and 16. So this is a 12, so I'm using a 2.8 millimeter bead. Thread is Danville Fly Master. For the 12, I'm using a 140D in brown. The tail is Hungarian Partridge fibers. The body is Hare's Ear Plus from Hareline. The rib is BR Gold ribbing from UTC. And the collar is Hungarian Partridge. So, of course, you're going to start by getting your hook mounted. Get tied in. All right, now your Hungarian Partridge, for the tail, I like to use these longer feathers off the very back end up by the tail of the partridge. And I just peel off a clump. I'm not exactly sure how many fibers are in it, but there's a clump like this. And you want the tail to be about a shank length. So, BR size gold wire. And then you want to dub this hair fur on in very small wisps. Very thin. There's not a lot of room in the fly, and it's a pretty narrowed fly, so you don't want to overdub it. You want to try to build yourself a little taper. Remember, you know, when it comes to dubbing, you can add more a lot easier than you can take it off. Now, I'm not using wax or anything. You see I'm licking my fingers. Just using saliva to get the dubbing to stick. I'm not using wax. Not using anything but spit. I mean, you can use wax if you want to. I'm just not. All right. A couple of half hitches. Now you can bring your wire up. One, two. Take 3 wraps, then come the other side 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, then 2 more. And that gives you a nice lock in on the wire, and then just helicopter it off. Now the collar. This Hungarian Partridge is very delicate, so you don't want to really reef on it too much. So when you're preparing your partridge, I probably ought to show you that. First off, when you pull a partridge off the skin, you're going to have this little down underguard feather piece. Just take that off. You can save them. Sometimes I make bugs out of those too. And you got all this fluff right here. All right. So you want to get that out of the way. Now, don't trim it off. Leave it connected. It gives you something you can grab on the stem with your hackle pliers. So you're just going to take the very tip and hold it in your index finger and thumb, and you're just going to rake these fibers back very gently. Until it looks like that. Take 3 wraps. Now in this case, I don't trim this little tip. I don't trim that off. I leave that there. I just fold it back underneath. Kind of gives me a little support. So fold that back and then take a turn. You're only going to get about 1.5 turns. Take a turn and you just pushing those fibers back. And a little bit more, a little bit more, a little more, there we go. And then 3 turns of thread. Get in there, give that a snip. Couple of turns, and then I'm doing a wet whip with UV resin. Just paint it on there. Give that a snip. Hit it with the light. And there you have it. I hope this tutorial was fun for you. I hope it's helpful for you. You can find this and other bugs here on my YouTube channel. It's at Custom Tied Bugs on Yoohoo and or YouTube. And please like and subscribe to this YouTube channel. You can also find these things on my website at www.custom-tied.com. custom-tied.com. I'm going to put the recipe in the description section, so be easier for you to find. Happy tying!